Welcome to the instructional part of the video. You can get tabs and backing tracks if you go to my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com. Today I'm playing with a 1995 Gibson Les Paul Classic, running into my pedal board using my Strymon Deco for a little bit of crunch. Valhalla Vintage Verb, it's a plugin, that's what I'm using for reverb. Also I'm playing through a Mojo-Tone Tweed Pro mic'd up with a Shure SM57. That's what you're hearing. Now let's learn this thing. So the first chord change is D. You know, I'm going to be thinking of this 5th fret A-shaped D, and then it's going to go to G minor. So I can think of a variety of G minor shapes. Let's look at it. So I'm going to start on the 7th fret of my D, 7th fret of the G, 9th fret of the G, sliding up to 11. Now a couple of principles of slide technique. If you don't know them for standard tuning slide, I guess they're good for all. Slide is straight up and down on top of the frets. I have my other fingers kind of behind to make sure that stays stable. I'm not pushing hard. I'm just resting right on top of it, letting the slide and the strings do the work for me. And then with my right hand here, I'm going to use a lot of my index finger to play the strings while the other fingers are going to mute the strings. So let's look at that opening thing again. 7, 7, 9, 11. I'm just going to get out of that. Now, chord change, G minor. So I'm aiming for this B flat here. That's my 8th fret of my D string. Well, here, I'll just show you the lick and then we'll talk about all this. 10, 12, drop all the way down to 7, and then down to 5. That's Harrison trick number 1. Get as many notes as you can out of one finger pluck as possible. And notice how much muting I'm doing here's what it would sound like without muting, which early George Harrison slide, he did use a pick. It's a mess. That's the hard thing about slide guitar is the right hand technique to get it oh so meticulous. Where am I? And then now when I come back for that D chord, I'm going to aim for the 7th fret of the B. And notice how I brought the thumb around and the index finger blocked. Oh, look at how many notes I got there. 1, 2, 3, 4 notes out of that. 5, 7, 10. And then back to 7. There's a quiet little 7 there on the G. And then we're back to the D string with the 8. 7, 5, and then back to that 7 of the B, and then there's that move 3rd time. Now the chords are going to shift from G minor, it's going to go down to E, and then I do a big leap, 12 on the D, down to 6 on the D, which is part of my E. Which brings us to principle 2 of Harrison's slide technique, is that he very much plays to the chord changes as opposed to out of a single scale. He's just kind of drifting through. And this is kind of based on the slide playing I hear him do in Marwa Blues and the cool stuff he did with Traveling Wilburys and Cheer Down and Isn't It a Pity, kind of his more chordal-based slide playing. And then, so I'm on an E. I'm going to go up an E arpeggio on the D string. 6, 9, 12, that's a big E7. And then again, principle 1, get as many notes as you can. So that is 14, still on the D, 14, 12, 11, 9, 11. Because now the song shifted from E7 to A. And then I'm going to go up an A7 arpeggio. So, 11, change strings, 9, 12, and do another one of those. That's on the G string now, 14, 12, 11, 9, 11. And then the the Sean Connery, the song shifts to F sharp 7. So it's a series of secondary dominants. I'll probably have to put together a video on that concept. So I'm at an F sharp 7. There he is, or she. 9, sorry, not 9. On the G, 11, 11, 14 on that B, yeah. And here we go. That's the 7th of that chord. That's 12 on my high E. And let's talk a little bit about slide vibrato now. So there I am at 12 on the high E. What I always try and do, I don't wiggle the note immediately. I don't go. I like to, comes from, I don't know, I guess I read it on a pedal steel form because I play some pedal steel. You start with a slow and small vibrato, and then as the note fades away, you widen it. Now, notice a couple of things also. If you're coming to slide from playing blues guitar, you're going to be like, you're going to try and go up and down or use your wrist. Slide vibrato is actually, my thumb is anchored on the back, and if you look, like, it's going like this. It's actually more from my elbow. It's pivoting on the thumb. So yeah, there I am on the 12. And then another one of my get as many quick little notes as you can articulately. So that is 12, 13, 12, 10. That's such a Harrison thing. So yeah. And then the song shifts to, this is just a weird, cool progression I made up. I like it. It goes to a C sharp minor 7, flat 5, which you can play this way or this way. So I just actually tag it. Just 7 to 9 there. And then, yeah, it hits it, goes, and then the movement stops on a B minor 7. So to get that, which is 7 on the B, 7 on the high E, 9, 10. Again, yeah. So advices I have for you. Do this. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the song with the D chord. Think about your cage shapes and then construct an arpeggio for D. With slide, you're always trying to get notes that you are purposely moving across the fretboard, which we don't think about doing when we're playing regular guitar. So let's see, I'm going to think 5 on the D, 4, 7, 7, 7, 10, 10. That's a nice little arpeggio to practice getting clean. Because I think that's the key to the sound, is thinking of like letting the chord forms connect to each other. And I don't know, let's think about a G minor, because that's the second chord in it. So I'm going to be connecting that shape probably to that one, to that one, to that one. So yeah, it does require knowledge of your caged shapes. Or, I don't know, I think I like this one more. 5, 5, 8, 12, 12, 15, 15, 15. Thinking about things that way is super useful. I'll leave it at that for now. To review some of the Harrison things, don't think as much about scales as about chord shapes that run along the strings, and try to get at least 2 notes per slide. Harrison will get 3, 4, 5 notes per pick attack, which is definitely one of his things. So my advice to you, and I'll include this in the tab, is to kind of sort out some of your structures and that go across the fretboard. Major chords, minor chords. Just do that. And then, put them in a progression and see what starts to happen. It's definitely different than like Duane Allman slide and kind of blues-based slide. It's much more Harrison-y, for lack of a better word. Good luck with that. Thanks for watching.